YouTube, yes, you have found me. This is Jared Fuller. Today is Sunday, February 24th, 2019. So glad you could join me for another installment of the Sunday video update. Now we've got some light here. Joining me off camera this week, Dad and Amy. Our allergies are kind of giving us crap this week. It is like really, I just shut that off.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
But anyway, because it helps to focus, from the desk light up here, which reminds me I have to get a new desk lamp, so that way when I record, I can have better lighting, and I don't have to run off battery for this. I might want to get like a lamp, like one of those lamps that are flexible, like they come up and over, and you can adjust it. I want to get one of those, but
my mom's got.
yeah, I'd have to plug it in somewhere. I don't know where I'd plug it in. Probably up here on my desk, if there's an available plug-in, because I think they're the 110 plug-in. Aren't they? The desk lamps are the 110 plug-in.
Yeah.
He's eating toast, so he can't respond right away.
Mom's is like one that's plugged in there.
Yeah.
That's what my mom does.
Yeah.
But she uses it for reading.
Yeah.
Because it's so bright.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have to. Actually, I'd probably spend a fortune in light bulbs more than batteries, because the batteries last longer than light bulbs. Depending, I don't know. Like the energy saving light bulbs.
Yeah, they really last really sure they do.
Yeah.
That's why I have to change them every time you turn them on.
Yeah, we got some.
And your light goes. But what people doesn't understand is them halogen light bulbs that you buy, that you get,
Yeah.
supposed to be so energized or whatever.
Yeah, they stay charged, or they have long life.
People doesn't know when they shut their lights off, they still glow. There's
Yeah.
still power going through it.
Yeah. Which is why I if I can help it, I would much rather buy a regular, a genuine or a general light bulb. Genuine, they're all genuine, but I'd rather buy just a regular light bulb.
Yeah.
And not these, you spend more.
You can't buy regular light bulbs no more.
Well, you know what I mean.
These energy saving crap.
Yeah, I miss the old, regular General Electric light bulb that you used to buy.
Yeah.
And they were cheap.
Well, they think on the market they're gonna save people money.
Yeah.
Well, by the time you pay for them, $5-6 for one light.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So our week was shitty.
It started out shitty.
Well, not having any money, that doesn't really help matters. It's been rough going financially. We're
propane and
yeah, we had to pay propane, which set us back, and
$550.
yeah, $550, and
right?
and then the grocery situation, we're kind of low on food, and we had to scrip and scrape just to round some things up, but we'll get there. We'll be all right.
With everything going on.
We managed before.
I was telling Dad last night, I forgot my medicine.
Yeah, we'll manage. We
what next?
It's what Dad says. We manage.
You got your mouth on it.
Oh, I'm blind. You might as well just leave it on.
Probably works better too than that little light.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was better on my face,
It's got a glow.
Yeah, I have a glow.
Well, you love to glow.
I like to glow. Yeah. I like to glow like a pregnant woman. But of course, no pregnancy here.
No.
Just me drinking my coffee.
So you'll be rich.
Yeah. And if someone's calling my dad.
Hello, Jay.
Oh, it's my brother.
Roll me a cigarette.
You're interrupting me, brother.
No, I don't. No, I looked some for Jared's vehicle before. There wasn't
which reminds me, I got to get it's a gasket for where the because my van's leaking transmission fluid, and I got to get a gasket for it. It's only like $12, so I'm gonna have to get that this week. And
It's got nasty out there. Freezing rain right now. Yep. I see it out there.
this always happens,
Yeah, it's raining, freezing rain right
At least
now.
huh?
It's nasty out
once, maybe a couple times.
Yeah,
there. Getting bad
Grandpa
out
already
there.
called him this morning.
yeah. But in the middle of a Sunday video update, I mean, that's when Dad gets the phone calls. Why don't you just come
Yeah,
here, Jay?
pretty
Why don't you
nasty out
just come
there.
here and join me for the Sunday video update
Oh,
He may have
oh, she ain't got a car?
instead of interrupting? No,
Oh.
he's all right. He doesn't know. There's no set time when I do the Sunday video updates. This is all improv. You know, I just say, okay, guys, it's mid-afternoon or it's early morning. I'm gonna start the Sunday video update, and then I just hit the record button, and here I am.
Sometimes you
bad
don't
and
even do
everything.
that. You just sit there and start it.
Oh,
Like-
good.
Yeah, I just start without warning. I don't tell anybody. It's like, hey, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna start talking here.
Right, right.
But yeah, it's been kind of a rough week, but
Right, right.
It turned, yeah,
it turned out okay.
I haven't
Yeah.
got any brake fluid.
And I'm wearing a necklace
Yeah,
that's
so be careful on the road if you do
the
take
peace
off.
symbol. I don't know if you can see that or
It's
not.
raining right now in the ice.
There it is. I can see it. I gotta get a
Alright,
longer
I'll
chain
talk to you
for it.
later. I love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay,
his car broke down.
his car broke down.
Leak brake fluid
Oh.
sometimes.
Well, I was just telling Amy, of course you didn't hear me, that I have to get a gasket because my van's leaking transmission fluid. So
Training gasket.
yeah, so I'm gonna have to get one of those this week,
Yeah.
sometime.
12.50.
Yeah, $12.50 at Bauman Brothers in Layton
Friday,
Corners.
probably.
Yeah, probably Friday.
Yeah, I'll put it in.
There's
You
something
know what
else.
I let them know is once I get my, sorry, Jared.
No, talk.
Once I get my bubble pack done,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have them. If I do not come pick it up by Wednesday,
Have to do it.
please deliver it.
Yeah, we weather-wise,
Supposed to get that.
it's windy outside right now, so another reason why I wanted to hurry up and try to get this done is because if we lose power because of these
I
wind
hope we
gusts,
don't.
and I'm hoping we don't either, because if we lose power, we don't have a furnace.
We don't have a furnace.
Yeah.
We don't have lights.
We don't have anything.
And we don't have. We got maybe a couple flashlights.
And
No candles.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah, generator, but no gas.
a generator. Yeah, my $500 generator.
The gas
um,
is so high.
We had it out this year.
I have the thing. Somebody's phone just dinged. I don't know
Yours?
if it was mine. Probably on Messenger. My cell phone has a flashlight, but you know what? If there's no power, I can't keep it charged to have the battery or the flashlight.
Hey,
I got those chargers.
Hey.
I would just go out, take the extension cord and plug it into a current bush.
A current bush.
Yeah.
Okie doke.
Where's that money tree you were supposed to grow too?
Yeah, a money tree. I wish we had. I wonder do we plant like penny seeds and then it flourishes into it starts growing 20s, 50s, 100s.
I'd have to have a 100-foot fence with electric going around it so nobody stole my
Stomach is
trees.
gurgling. Yeah. There's been some things going on. There was a celebrity death. Peter Tork from the Monkees had passed away at the age of 77. I like the Monkees. You guys like the
Had a
Monkees.
friend pass away this week.
Yeah, we had a friend pass away last week. All of our love and condolences go out to the family of Mike Gross.
You know,
I didn't really know him all that well. Dad knew him.
me and Uncle Tim don't know.
I knew him by name, and that was about it.
Yeah, I think Mom knew him.
Yeah, we all
My
know
mom
him.
knew
Me
who he
and John
was,
Pearson and all of us know him.
and he had cancer.
He played guitar at John Pearson's funeral.
Yeah, he had cancer,
Yeah,
Oh, did he?
and
yeah. He played at his
yeah,
funeral.
Mike Gross was in a band.
Yeah,
He was a guitarist,
Yeah.
damn good one.
yeah,
But he passed away. He was only 56 years old.
yep. 56.
He was
That
young.
one I missed.
56.
He was
Younger
very
than me.
very young.
Younger
Stage
than
4
me.
cancer took him.
Just younger than me. That's
And Peter Tork, his cause of death was cancer, wasn't it? It was cancer of the salivary glands.
yeah.
That's what killed him. 77 years old. At least that's what I read anyway. I hope I'm not wrong about that, but that's what I read anyway. And speaking of cancer, this was one of the things I wanted to discuss. The Saturday, of course, is the 30th anniversary of my diagnosis with Wilms tumor. And I'm preparing a statement for Facebook. I'm typing it out. I'm using WordPad on my computer here, and I'm typing it out. I've been going back at it periodically, just adding some different things, adding some thoughts and everything. But I'm going to be typing it out, and when I'm gonna get it done by Saturday. Once it's completed, I'm gonna put it on Facebook for everybody to read. I was even thinking about putting it into a video here on my YouTube channel. I'm not really sure yet. I haven't decided. I might even just read it in a recording and
Put
you
it
know
on.
do it like that. Because I've done video recordings on my YouTube channel where I talk about narcissism and egotism and internet safety and
Yeah.
different areas, aspects of life. I haven't done any recordings recently, but I'm going to get back into that. But Saturday it's going to be a very bittersweet day for me and everybody that well, not everybody, I'm being hyperbolic there, but the friends that I have mentioned this to, they say, well, that's a time when you should celebrate. Celebrate being diagnosed with cancer? No way. No fucking way. That's nothing that I would ever celebrate. The fact that I'm still here, yeah, I can celebrate that. What I have to find out from Dr. Scott is when, the date when my treatment ended, when they took the port out, the chemo port, which I don't know.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I mean, I'm assuming Dr. Scott would have that information. I mean, he's the man. He knows. He's still got the folder.
And it's amazing how they still have the records from.
Yeah. See, because I was worried about that now because everything these days has gone to computer. It's all electronic. It's all, everything's on an electronic file, if I can speak. So I wasn't even sure that Dr. Scott would still have that original yellow folder with all of the documents in it and the information that, mom and dad had to sign consent forms for my treatments, for the blood transfusion, the radiation, the chemo, all of it. They had to sign the consent forms. Dr. Scott still has that. All the paperwork that mom and dad signed.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And when I saw that, the last time I had talked to Dr. Scott, it was an appointment set up where I had questions, he had answers. And I got emotional sitting in the room because that folder is still as thick now as it was 30 years ago. And there's all kinds of information, miscellaneous information regarding my case.
Yeah.
And I know he would have answers to more questions. I've got some questions written down somewhere. I'd have to look for them and present them to Dr. Scott and try to get some more answers. And it will help to further educate other people, my friends, and the people who've gone through it.
What to expect.
Yeah, and that was that's really all I wanted to do as an advocate, was just to show people that I've been there and done that. I know what that's about, and I've been through it, and I have some rudimentary understanding about what it is, haven't gone through it, and I just wanted to help people. That's it. But yeah, this Saturday, 30 years since my diagnosis, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna post the statement on Facebook. So if you're friends with me on Facebook or, whatever, look for it. The profile picture down there in the corner is the same as my Facebook profile. Um, so check it out when I post it this Saturday. And there was something else I wanted to mention. I'm officially in a relationship with a Wilms warrior, a Wilms tumor survivor like myself. She lives in Wisconsin. Her name is Ruth, and we've been talking for quite some time now. We've been talking for quite a long time through text message. Um,
Tell her, Ruth, if you're listening.
and so Ruth, if you're, thanks,
Oh.
Dad. Thanks, Daddy. Thanks, Daddy.
Well, sometimes you forget things like me.
Oh well, I'm not as old as you, so.
I catch that.
Okay, so Ruth, if you're watching this, I love you, baby, and we'll get together this year. We'll hang out and we'll go to a movie or go out to dinner. We'll find something to do. But I love you, and I can make this work, this relationship. So
If a friend of yours can, you can.
hey, I have a buddy of mine who lives in Kansas, and he's engaged to a woman who lives in Australia. So they're two different countries apart. If they can make it work, I can make it work with someone who lives just a state away. The only thing separating us is Lake Michigan. So,
You can take a boat across that.
or a ferry, or a
And
ferry.
that's what I was
Yeah,
telling him. I said, it would be really nice to go and
yeah.
get to the bridge, go to the ferry.
Or go to Ludington, because up in Ludington they've got ferries.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yep.
go to the ferry,
Yeah.
and then
I've never been on a ferry.
ride
I
a
bet
ferry.
I bet they're
Wisconsin.
expensive.
Yeah.
Bet they're
Probably
expensive
is.
as hell.
It probably is.
Um,
That's why you like driving, because you like the scenery.
I love the scenery. I'm one for scenery. Even when I flew to New York last summer, I mean, being 30,000 feet in the air
Then
was,
you'll have to bring her across the bridge back this way, so
Yeah.
we can meet her and
yeah.
get a
Um,
get her some different scenery,
Yeah.
that she's never
And
seen before.
to not
Maybe.
put too much of her personal information out there. Ruth has additional health issues as a result
Right.
of her chemo.
Right. right.
Because she's a 32-year survivor. She was diagnosed in
Wow.
1987.
32 years. Wow.
She was diagnosed in 87. I was diagnosed in 89. She was, I think, 3 or 4 when she was diagnosed. So she was a little bit older. Well, of course, she is older than me. She's going to be 36 this year.
Not much.
Yeah, not by much.
She's still a baby to me.
But she has additional health issues. She did have a stroke. So, and she works. She's,
Oh, she will.
yeah, she works a
Good for
lot.
her.
So, I don't know how that would work with her traveling long distances, and
Right,
I don't
right.
want to put her in harm's way.
Right.
If
Yeah, I have to wait.
if her health restricts her from traveling long distances, I wouldn't want to put her through that.
No.
I'll just go to her.
Yep.
Take her out to dinner.
Take her out to
Get
dinner
in
and a
here
movie.
sometime, if
Have
Yeah.
some fun with her. Have some fun.
Yeah.
That's all it's about.
But I do. I love her a lot, and we've been through some similar situations, and she also helps a lot of warriors too. She volunteers at it's a camp for cancer kids.
Oh, that's cool.
She does a lot of work there, and she loves helping children. She's good with kids, and
So you guys got a lot in common.
yeah, a lot in common. And I asked her, because we talked on the phone not too long ago, and I asked her, well, what kinds of after effects do you have from the chemo? I'm allergic to the sun. She says, you're allergic to the sun? Yep. Photosensitivity. She says, well, that's weird, because I can go out in the sun, and I'm pretty sure we had the same chemo, but I'm not 100% sure.
Right.
But I'm rambling. That's what I do best. I ramble.
One of these times you're gonna have to do a special video
Yeah, I've done lots of special videos.
just for you and Ruth.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, they're gonna go sightseeing. They'll go.
Yeah,
someplace.
I've been to Wisconsin once before.
You even take her to Mackinac City.
Yeah, I've
You know.
I've been to Wisconsin before.
Oh, I know you have.
Yeah, I have.
She talked like that.
Uh,
Wow, I think she's an England.
I've been there before, and it just seems like you drive and drive and drive and drive. Just like Ohio, you just drive and drive and drive, like you're driving to nowhere. But yeah, I've been to Wisconsin. I've been to Ohio. I'm planning to go to Indiana soon. I've been to New York, as Amy pointed out, and pretty soon, maybe, I'm still talking with a buddy of mine. I might be going to Louisiana in the first week of March.
Cajun country.
Maybe. There's nothing written in stone yet.
Cajun.
We've been talking because he works a lot too, and they want me to come down. They want me to come down and chill with them.
That's cool.
And I'm just so looking forward to it. We've been talking for, I'd say 5 years at least, because their daughters are actresses. Well, the one stopped acting, but the other daughter still acts.
That's cool.
They've met Lucas Black. You know who Lucas Black is? You remember the movie Sling Blade?
Yeah.
The boy,
yeah.
Frank, Lucas Black. He was in Tokyo Drift too, Lucas Black.
He's on the award thing for movie awards.
Well, my buddy, his daughters actually got to meet Lucas Black in person.
That's cool.
Well, they're in the industry, so it makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, they really want me to come down. We've been discussing this for a long time. Nothing's written in stone yet, but
Cool.
if
Cool.
I can make things work.
But you're young though, Jared. You're young and not married and
thank
that.
you.
Why not travel? If I wasn't married and
You're not married
everything,
now.
I mean, if I was younger,
Yeah.
if I was younger, like
Yeah.
your age, I'd be traveling. I'd be gone.
Yeah.
Single.
I'd be everywhere.
Yeah.
I'd be everywhere.
I mean, I'm in a relationship with Ruth, but I can still travel. I can still go different places and hang with friends,
Yeah.
and there's people who are still wanting to meet me that they haven't met me yet, and there's friends who they haven't met me in person. We've only spoken on
And when you take a
Facebook.
trip, me and Amy's taking a trip on my bike.
Okay.
We're going on a trip
There's
on
people I've spoken to on Facebook. They have not met me physically in person, but we're gonna make that happen too.
Give me-
I've been wanting to go to Colorado. My friend who lives in Colorado, she's been busy lately, so I could use a warm up. He brings a whole coffee pot in. I mean, look at that, just like a restaurant.
Yeah. Where's my tip? there's a tip. Don't walk outside. You might slip and
Yeah,
fall.
not until Friday. That's when you'll get a tip.
Not till Friday. That's when you'll get your tip.
I think I have a buck I could pass over to you.
I thought it was only 50 cents.
But-
you know.
Yeah, but yeah, I have so many friends. I made these plans a long time ago, and we just kind of lost track. I don't know. People get busy, and my friend who lives in Colorado.
Hey, Walt, Mark,
Okay, let him out,
come here, buddy. Come here, buddy.
so you're not talking over me when I'm trying to speak. Those are my dogs.
Come here. You what?
Who's going out? Barkley, Scruffy, which one are you going out?
Come here.
You going out?
There goes Diane.
Come on,
Scruffy, you gotta go out,
come on, Scruff. Up.
or you wanna be with Jared?
Come on, Scruff.
You know what it is. They want Jared to let him out. I bet.
Okay, we're not doing
Come here,
that.
Barker.
Stop.
Come here.
Barkley has elephant skin, and he scratches his backside on my chair, and then he starts barking every time he itches. What's that? Fish oil?
Fish oil, well, just a minute.
Hold on a sec, Mr. Impatient.
Here,
It keeps
here,
their skin
come on.
from getting really dry
Barkley?
and all that.
Yeah, like psoriasis.
and it
when they
keeps their
pop,
coat
that-
shiny.
It comes right out of his mouth. Sometimes they'll bite it and squirt out.
But I have my friend in Colorado. We had made plans for me to go to Colorado, to where she lives at, to attend a St. Baldrick's event. But I haven't. She got so busy. Her dad, she looks after her
Yeah.
dad, and she's
Right,
got
right.
her own family life. and I love her to death. She's a sweetheart. And her son is a lymphoma survivor, a childhood cancer survivor. I think it's non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is what he had, and I hope I didn't get that wrong, but I know it was something like that anyway. There's just so many people I talk to that sometimes it gets hard to keep track of all of the different diagnoses of cancer that their kids had.
Honestly, Wayne, I think John John got a little upset last night.
Oh, and my buddy Camden, who lives in New York, he's a Wilms tumor childhood cancer survivor. He went for scans last week. Still in the clear.
Awesome.
Yay.
Still in the clear.
Yeah.
Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah. Congratulations.
And I will be coming back to see you this year. I'll be coming back to New York. Guaranteed. If I have to save up every penny, nickel, and dime, I will get a plane ticket and I will come back to be with you again. There's some people that I was supposed to video chat with today. That's why another reason why I wanted to get this done and out of the way. And I just don't want the power to go out because we've got like really strong gusty wind
60 mile an hour.
and like hurricane force is what they're saying, or just beneath
It's
hurricane
mellowed out
force.
right now, thank
60
God.
mile an hour winds.
But I guess later on, as the day progresses on, those winds are going to pick up.
Yeah, well, 60.
And in northwestern lower Michigan, Traverse City, Cadillac, and even Clare, blizzard warnings,
Yeah.
blizzard
That's about
conditions.
how you know it, ain't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, they live in Gladwin. They live,
I talked to my son
he's still getting it
up there
yeah,
last night, and he's like, "Mom, be careful going
Well,
home.
the icy.
yeah.
You tell Wayne to be careful. Give me a call when you get home." He says the
We-
roads are nasty.
We have a high wind warning. We're under a high wind warning, Saginaw County and surrounding counties.
Until
That's up
4
by
o'clock
Kirk Lake.
tomorrow,
so-
sir.
Huh?
Till 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, until 4 in the morning.
4 a.m.
Okay, morning.
tomorrow morning.
So they're talking 60 mile an hour wind gusts, potential widespread power outages. Well, potential. I'd say that's a pretty good bet.
Hey, that means I can
Um,
hold up a thing like this, set on a piece of metal or whatever, and let the wind take it. I
wind
can go to
surfing,
town.
huh? Wind surfing.
I
Just
can
put.
go to town.
I'll
on
just
snow.
put the car in neutral and
Yeah.
let the wind push you down the
Yeah,
road.
push you like this, Jared.
Yeah.
Sideways
Yeah.
in the ditch.
Yeah. Talk
under the
about
ditch.
it'd be you could save a fortune on gas by switching to neutral.
Not Geico.
Yeah, switch to neutral. Let the
Right.
wind push you. Let Mother Nature take you where you gotta go.
Wow. If the roads are real bad, I'd love to see my brother.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the last time we were up there and we went to the cemetery there
Yeah.
a few days ago with him.
Yeah.
We're following him, and he's been doing one of these numbers.
Yeah, fishtailing. Yeah.
His mom was
Just
freaking-
horsing around.
his mom was
Yeah,
freaking-
horsing around will get you in some
Mom-
deep shit.
Mom was freaking in the back, and so was I.
I wasn't. I was thinking, Joe.
Smart ass.
You know?
No wonder why he gets into his accidents.
We are, man, I really gotta wear my glasses.
You need him.
We are already a half hour into this video, and I did not mention to visit guidestar.org. Org.
Oh,
Guidestar.org. O-R-G.
Oh, okay.
Which is a website that contains a complete and comprehensive listing of all the 501c3 nonprofit organizations and LLCs approved and mandated by the federal government of the United States of us. Don't be fooled, don't be duped. Visit guidestar.org today.
I'm sorry
It's not
about the little
.com.
mess up.
It's .org. .org.
No, sometimes we do it at the same time, only I may be in another room.
Well, actually,
Another
in a
world.
couple of videos, you say at the very end, don't forget to visit GuideStar. Amy, I already covered that territory.
Yeah.
I've already done that. You're a little too late.
Yeah, she said she's in a room. Yeah, but yeah, in her little own world.
Yeah. So Amy got this this game console, the Sega Genesis, and instead of putting the cartridges in, the games are already built into the console. The dog wants it, and I've been having one awesome time playing Sonic and Golden Axe. And just so you know, I don't just sit home and play video games all day. This is occasionally, and Amy knows this. But I mean, these are games I haven't played in years.
And I already told you, anytime you're home alone and you ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah, when everything else, chores or whatever, when everything else is done.
Pop in there, play the dang thing.
I mean, I have not played Sonic the Hedgehog in I don't know how long. It was just weird. Just and
Sonic
because
the Hedgehog 2, I was almost at the very end of that darn thing.
yeah.
And I died. I'm like, oh!
I cannot get through the labyrinth zone in the first Sonic the Hedgehog. The third one, the third zone is what they're called. They're called zones, but the third zone, it's difficult as fuck. I can't get through it. Because it's all water. You got to get the air bubbles, and you have to, you've only got 10 minutes to complete each zone.
Yeah.
And if you don't get the air bubbles, you die. You drown. And it's like, man, I can't fucking do this. This is hard. So I just do the secret code and skip to the final zone. I cheated, and I went across all the other zones. It's like, fuck, I'm not going to sit here and waste time trying to beat the zone that I've been sitting here for the last half an hour trying to conquer. Yeah. Somebody call cheaters.
I don't cheat.
Somebody call the guy from Cheaters, because I'm a cheater.
What's that?
They'll have to catch him. I don't check the machine off.
No, Ruth, I wouldn't cheat. No, Ruth, I'm not a cheater in that regard.
Like he just said, they'll have to catch you cheating, and by then
Yeah,
you'll have a
Scruffy,
machine
I
on.
hear ya.
Yeah. Scruffy's barking to get in. He wants his
Let
daddy.
him out. Let him in.
Uh,
Come on, Goofy.
but yeah,
He came in on 3
Why?
legs.
Leave him alone.
so I really. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that was a big yawn. Is there anything else happening last week? We lost Peter Tork. I mentioned that. Our buddy Mike Gross died. Well, Dad's buddy. I really didn't know him all that well. Just been sitting home a lot. Really haven't had the money to do anything or go anywhere.
Them weekends.
Excuse me.
But one of them weekends.
Oh yeah, we went to Flint last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When you had your appointment in Flint.
Yeah,
And
I
they-
ain't gotta go back unless I got, call it
Yeah.
for an appointment.
So Amy had an appointment with a podiatrist in Flint, and it was a bitch getting there because they had the downtown area all tore up with construction. I think they're tearing a building out in a downtown structure. So we get back in the room, and the podiatrist is doing his thing, taking care of Amy, and I asked him, I said, so you're a podiatrist, right? And he says, yep. I said, oh, I bet you get in a jam. No, you get in a jam. Don't ruin my joke. No, I told him, I asked him, I said, you're a podiatrist? He says, yep. I said, so I bet you get in a lot of jam,
Yeah.
and yeah, he laughed.
He smiled.
He kind of chuckled a little bit.
Look at my toes.
And then you even had to get after Dad because Dad's sitting there and I'm already freaking as it was.
Yeah.
Just give me a knife. I'll take care of it.
Well, I mentioned a power sander.
Yeah, but I also.
I know people they have
was
to use
thinking
those
about getting
on.
a drink out of that fountain, but then I thought, oh, this is Flint, man. I ain't getting no drink out of
Yeah.
that fountain.
Well, I mean, it's no laughing matter. What happened to the people in Flint with the poison water situation? That's
because they're
shitty
still-
as fuck.
Yeah, they're still finding people from Flint coming into the hospital.
They just had a little boy and girl died from Flint that been newborn
that was a newborn,
that they didn't know,
and
and the woman's
it's
drinking
because
water,
it's because
and
of it's because of the poison fucking water.
Yeah.
That's
I feel
this has
bad.
been
all the lead.
yeah.
I feel sad for that families. and
I feel sad
everybody.
for the people in Flint That they have
I've
to they
never-
have to
I've
live on
never-
restrictions. You got to have water to cook, to clean,
Bathe in and
to
nothing,
shower.
just
I
go.
mean,
Could you imagine if them guys don't have insurance?
Alec Baldwin was
Yeah.
just in Flint last
Yeah,
week.
I remember that.
You remember
Yeah,
last
I
week?
seen him on TV.
That's cool. He remembers what something from last week. Yeah, that's got to be a new record.
But I can't
Yeah.
remember what happened earlier yesterday.
Yeah, you can remember something last week or 40 years ago, but you can't remember something.
Yeah.
Anyway, Alec Baldwin was in Flint last week. Flint has had a lot of celebrity turnout as a result of the poison water situation, and Flint is probably, I'd say, 45 miles from here, from this very location. So we're not affected by the Flint
And I
water
think-
crisis at all. We have well water here.
And I think the people that knew about that should go to jail. Just
They're
like all the other ones.
prison time.
Prison time.
Because when Governor Snyder was in office, they were indicting members of his administration because they knew about this and did nothing. They were, taking funds
Yeah. You-
and using it for other things when they had known that this was going on in Flint.
They should get put in prison.
Well, they are. I think they're looking at prison time,
And tell
or
them to
they're
go
in
right
prison.
on with it.
Because
Go
if
right on with it.
because if you know something like this is happening and you refuse to do anything about it, well, that's neglect. You're neglecting
Just like
to.
when Trump said he knew about ISIS. He knew more about ISIS than our own people did. Now, if he did that, why didn't they say, okay,
Why wasn't
we're
he
bringing you in.
interrogated?
We're bringing you in.
Yeah, when Trump said that he knows more about ISIS than anybody.
He said that right on TV. I
Yeah,
heard
he
him
said that.
on
He said that in a commercial
yeah,
in his
He-
campaign.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, it was a campaign.
Yeah,
It was in one of his commercials when he was running for president.
yeah.
Well, if you know more about ISIS than anybody else, I think you should be interrogated, Mr. Trump.
Yeah, that's
Um,
not my ass, yeah.
But I'm not political, and I don't talk
I'm not
politics.
either, but-
Yeah, you are. You talk about politics all the time.
Well, yeah,
Yep.
because it
But-
pisses me off.
Well, yeah, but I don't discuss politics.
I
Not
don't
on
either
Facebook.
because I don't really
Come on,
understand
Sanders.
it.
I want to see you get in there. Bernie
Dad
Sanders.
wants Bernie Sanders to
Damn right.
because he's running for president in 2020.
I want a female in there.
Wouldn't hurt.
I think we should at least try a female. We've
Wouldn't-
never had a
You know
female.
what? It probably
Besides
wouldn't
Hillary.
hurt.
It's
They
I,
can't do any worse
Or
than
didn't
that.
I don't
Hillary Clinton didn't get in though, did she?
no Trump's
Hillary?
president.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
See, this is my take on politics in general. I don't discuss politics with my friends on Facebook for the simple fact that politics is a red herring. I have lots of friends who have their own political, beliefs and ideas and things. They have their own opinions.
Yeah.
It's like that wall.
Okay, well, let me finish my thought here. They have their own opinions, varying opinions about things, regarding politics. I don't say anything about politics on Facebook because it's a red herring.
You in the bar, boy, they hate that.
That's the last place you want to talk about politics is in a bar with a bunch of drunken
Well,
fucking buffoons
I get
because
going.
then you
I
get
get 'em
fights
going.
started.
I get 'em going.
Oh,
You find entertainment in that. If I'm sitting next to you, I don't want to get caught in the middle of a bullshit fight
Debate.
because of
A
Dad
debate.
here can't keep his mouth
we
shut
almost
about politics.
we almost had one out in the smoking room
But
last
but
night.
anyway, it's a red herring.
Told him about it.
I have lots of friends on Facebook. They talk about politics. They discuss their opinions about politics, about Trump, about the issues. I leave that to them because when they had the election between Hillary and Uncle Donnie, as most people call him, there was a lot of back and forth on Facebook. It was the new CNN. It was political
Yeah.
idea. It was politics central, and I stayed out of it. I went this way, and everybody else is over here
Yeah.
talking about politics, and it's like, you know what? I'm gonna leave it alone. I don't vote. I'm leaving this alone. And
So,
there were people who are actually deleting, unfriending, and blocking because of political differences, because they had different opinions, and they were actually engaging in an argument, a back and forth, because of politics. Now, okay, Dad's laughing at the TV, just in case you didn't know. But here's the thing. Trump he's done a lot of things that I don't like,
Same here.
just like many presidents before Trump. The thing about being a president
poor
is,
judgment.
well, no, the thing about being a president is you cannot please everybody. You can't possibly fulfill the dreams of everybody. You're not going to satisfy everybody's wants and needs. It's impossible. You're putting yourself at the behest of the country. You can't possibly fulfill the dreams of each and every individual. There's, I don't know the current population of just the United States, but in the world, there's 7 billion people. You can't, I mean, Trump, of course, is not the president of the world, of the planet. But you cannot, even if you are in a position of power, if you are the leader of a country, you cannot possibly fulfill the hopes and dreams of each and every person.
What?
You can't. You can't do it. It's impossible. That's why it's one of the reasons why I don't.
There ain't, yeah, there is.
It's one of the reasons why I don't offer up any opinions about politics. Why are you making noises? What's
That guy got hurt.
okay? But I'm trying to talk. You don't offer up opinions. I don't anyway, because you just can't.
They ask me
You
what my
can't.
opinion is, and I tell them, and they still get mad.
I mean, as far as the wall is concerned, because Dad mentioned the wall, because Trump's idea is for national security, to keep out the drug lords and the criminals. But I'm going to say it again, as I've said before, they're already here now.
How many holes are they gonna find before they?
You can
decide,
climb-
Oh, wait, we can't stop them. They got 17 holes built or dug right
You
here.
can climb over walls. You can dig tunnels underneath of
That
walls.
wall they can't because there's a fence going around it, electric fence.
Okay, but there are ways of getting around it.
But I have
They
seen
can
them.
dig under it.
They can actually lift the vehicle up with a crane and lift that car up over it with a cartel and go across the
Yeah,
fence,
see.
drop it down, and they're off.
Yeah, see,
See, there's so many ways. of
there's
doing
ways of getting around it, but
it. Come on, man.
I think taking food out of the mouths of citizens just to get what you want
You know,
is a crock of shit.
yeah, because every time that
Every time you don't get what you want, you shut the government down.
Yep.
That's an abuse of power, and it is. It has nothing to do with Democrat, Republican. An abuse of power is a fucking abuse of power.
Yep.
Period. It doesn't matter which side you're on. You cannot. I mean, he did, but it's a power trip.
Yeah, and they're talking another one.
Yeah. This is again, like I said, it's a red herring. I don't want to, because I don't talk about politics on Facebook. I don't want to lose friends over this. You have your own opinions about Trump. You have your, some people support him, some people don't. Okay, I have no stake in that. I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote at all. I have nothing to say about any of it, other than I'm just in the back seat.
I have no use for Trump.
I'm in the back seat on this bus, and I'm just along for the ride. That's all I can say.
I have no use for him.
Even people who,
Because I'm a military person, I have no use for him.
even people who they're not really political, they went and voted anyway. And it's like, well, I mean, if that's what you feel you have to do, although there's no law that says you have to vote, but well, it's a civic duty. I'm sorry, but that's not a civic duty.
I have no
To me,
use.
a civic duty, I know you have no use for them. A civic duty to me is you don't steal my shit and I won't kill you.
Exactly.
That's a civic duty. Going out and helping people is a civic duty. And I'm not saying helping people by voting for your favorite, candidate. I'm saying going out and helping people, feed the hungry,
Be kind.
shelter the homeless, or give, find housing for the homeless. Be kind. That's,
Help the veterans.
or just people, not just specifically
Well, the
veterans, but
need help.
help. There we go again.
We all need help.
And who's that?
Hello, Jay.
Second time I get interrupted. But anyway,
Is it?
you helping people, physically helping people, which I've done, which a lot of my friends have done.
Oh,
That's
it is. It's snowing.
that's a civic duty. Okay, that's a civic duty. It's snowing, I know. A civic duty is when you help people, physically go out and do what you're supposed to do. But that's all I'm going to say about politics. Thanks, Dad. I didn't want to talk about politics, but him, he's always got to throw that out there. It's like, no, this is a red herring. I don't want to talk about this, but he got me going. I have no stake in any of it.
We'll apologize to everybody for the politics session.
Yeah. He wants to talk about politics. I fucking don't. I'm not political.
You better be careful when you go stop.
But
Okay. Okay.
it's real. I can hear the wind howling out there.
Oh yeah.
I've been here for almost
50-mile-an-hour wind.
50 minutes. Almost
Early-
50 minutes.
Earlier, Dad and I looked out the kitchen window,
Yeah.
and the trees that are out there were just going like.
Yeah, they were
west.
swaying
We
from the.
thought that for sure they were gonna come down.
Yeah.
as old as they are.
Last night it poured rain. When you guys went out last night, it poured fucking
We heard
rain.
it. We heard it.
And it thundered here. We had some thunder
In the
here.
building we were in, we heard it. Yeah, that was after we got home.
Yeah.
The thunder started.
Yeah, it was early this morning. I can't sleep. I'm back on my crummy ass sleeping schedules again. I cannot sleep worth shit.
Normally with you playing music, I could not sleep.
Yeah.
It takes me a while to get there. Last night I laid here, listened to the music, and before you knew it, I was in
Yeah.
dreamland.
And do you know how I do that? Like when I fall asleep listening to music, when I close my eyes and I listen to the instruments and the riffs, the guitar riffs, I envision that when my eyes are closed, and then I just listen, and then eventually I go to sleep. That's how I do it.
Me,
You concentrate on that.
I concentrate on the song,
Yeah.
the words and all that, and then
Yeah.
before you know it.
That's how I fall asleep. Music puts me to sleep sometimes. When I was a kid, Kenny G used to put me to sleep. The sound of the horn. That always put me to sleep.
My sister would fall asleep to Jay Leno.
Jay Leno. Yeah, the Tonight Show.
Yeah. She'd actually sit up, and then in the morning her TV was still on.
Yeah.
And you're like, sis, what were you watching? Jay Leno. I figured so. I had to have the radio.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be doing some video chatting today with some friends on Facebook. But
Look me.
and I just heard Dad, it's really coming down out there. Let's see. Oh yeah,
it is.
yeah, it's whiteout conditions almost. Michiganders, if you have any traveling to do today, please be careful.
I'm hoping and praying my mother decided not to go to church.
It's getting nasty out there. Bad would be an understatement. It's getting fucking nasty outside. Yeah, it's. But we're under a high wind warning, and the wind blowing the snow around is going to create, it's going to make for whiteout conditions, and it's going to be hazardous for driving. Fucking hazardous, which is why I'm not going out. I'm not going out in this shit.
This nasty is really coming down now.
Yeah, I put my glasses on and looked.
Jay's headed sagging on taking Carly home.
Thanks for interrupting me twice in my video, brother.
So sorry, man. You call me.
Um, what did I just say? I said, thank you, brother, for
Oh, I thought you were
interrupting
talking to
me.
me.
You're
Yeah,
not my brother, are you?
Why, you call me brother?
No, I don't call you brother.
Oh, I know what you call me.
Okay.
Or I'll say
But yeah. Yeah, you're my daddy.
it.
My daddy, my compadre. No, I don't know what's happening this week. I know we have bills to pay this week.
Friday, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
Friday. Saturday
Don't know.
is the 30th cancerversary.
You get both of your
I'm trying to think if there's anything
I gotta
else.
go to.
I have to get.
Kyle.
I gotta get my
Kyle, I gotta go to
gasket,
Saginaw.
my transmission.
I gotta go to Saginaw, 'cause I
Gasket.
gotta pay taxes.
Oh yeah, we gotta pay
I
taxes.
gotta
Yeah,
go to Saginaw and do that.
yeah, at the courthouse. We missed our.
Then go from that, and then go from there, and maybe go from there and go right to Plyle. I'm right out at.
Yeah, we didn't have the money to pay our property taxes. We didn't have the money to pay our property taxes in February because we had to pay the propane.
Propane lights.
Either freeze or
And not
be
have
delinquent on taxes. Well, we're not really delinquent. Not
No,
not
this is the,
really.
no, this is the first time that we was late, and it's only $25 extra.
Yeah,
so,
it's a 5% late
it's
fee,
about 25 bucks.
and we have to go to the courthouse in Saginaw to pay it. That's nothing. We split the
I've never been late on my taxes.
nope. But this year we really didn't have much of a choice
No,
because we had that deep freeze and we needed propane.
buy groceries. And,
Yeah, it's hard. You know, we struggle just like anybody else.
Which,
But
next
here
week
we are.
should all be getting food stamps.
Yeah. But we struggle like everybody else. I mean, you know.
we're not struggling like that family that burned out and
No, that was awful. Last week, and it was this time last week. I had mentioned there was a house fire on Fenmore Road.
Oh, there was another one just yesterday in Montrose.
Yeah, Montrose.
And a little girl and her mother lost everything.
Yeah.
The girl's probably like 3.
But they got out safe, right? Everybody got out safe. Good.
Yes.
Because the one on Fenmore Road last week, the dogs died. 2 dogs died, but the family got out safely. They lost everything. It's a damn rotten shame when of all times. I mean, a house fire is bad any fucking time, but especially when it's cold outside and it's snowing and it's blustery and you've got children. That's the worst because
yeah,
you don't want to intrude on your family. You don't want to feel like you're heavy weight or a burden on your family. But what are you gonna do?
Then you got people out there that have family that really don't, because of their issues maybe in their life, their family don't want them around, so they shove them out.
Which is
They
shitty.
lose a fire.
Which is shitty. Which is shitty.
No place to go.
I have family like that.
we have a buddy that we told him if you ever get
Yes, a very good friend of ours.
him and his son.
Him and his little boy, we told them anytime you need a place to crash, you and your little boy, we got room right here at this
Come over and
house.
see us.
And you're always welcome. That door is always open to you, and you'll always have a warm place to sleep. And we'll take care of that little buddy of mine.
Sorry if they hear the snoring in the video. It's not a human.
No, that's my dog. Barkley snores. He's just a porker. He's fat, but he's also muscle. He's stocky.
49 years old, the dog.
He's got the Rottweiler pit.
Yeah, he's got Doberman Pinscher too, I think.
Yeah, he's got miniature pincher,
Miniature Pinscher.
terrier, pit, rat.
He's like he's a Heinz 57.
That's what I told my mom. When
You
I
know,
called him a Heinz 57.
because people ask me a lot, well, what breed of dog is Barkley? And I can't remember all that shit.
Good dog.
But he's a big baby. He's a good watchdog.
Oh yeah. He hears
And then
everything
we've got
outside.
our little Scruffy.
And then
around
we've
here.
got Scruffaloff.
Call him over there.
Scruffy, come here, Scruff. Come on, Scruff. Come here.
He likes video time.
This is my Scruffy, or our Scruffy. Oh, I love you. That's our boy, our other boy, our other fur baby.
He's the smallest one to get on your lap.
Yeah, he's a lap dog. He'll jump right up on your lap, and
Berkeley would if he didn't have the bad leg.
Scruffy gives hugs too. And I was in my bedroom last week, and it just blew me away. I was in my bedroom. I was just waking up. He got in bed with me, and he put one paw on each side, and he started licking my ears. He's saying, "Get up," or he's saying, "Good morning," you know.
Dad, he'll sit and stare at him.
Bart or Scruffy stares at Dad.
Yeah.
There you go.
Scruffy,
A growl at Dad.
Scruffy. Look at. What's on the house? What's on the house? Hey, what's on the house? Okay, roof, roof.
He's not wanting to talk right now.
Yeah.
He don't want to show off. Now when the camera's not on, he'll show off.
Yeah.
Camera's
Yep. I love dogs. I love cats, but I think when these animals die, it's heartbreaking when your animals die. It's just you get so
Especially when you have them as long as we have.
yeah
I
have
mean, yeah.
Like Thor. Had Thor a long time.
I mean,
yeah Thor. We've had him for he was 99.9 wolf.
Berkeley was 6 weeks old when we got him.
I remember
was
when we got him. He was just a little
He was
pup.
actually too small to take.
Yeah.
I raised him and
Yeah.
doing good.
Now he's a fucking monster dog. But he eats everything. I mean, not everything. I mean, we don't give him chocolate. Dad's laughing at the TV. You laughing at the TV again? Or are you laughing at the dog?
No, laughing at that. What's he doing?
At the TV. Because nobody knows what you're laughing at. They just hear you laughing. Oh, speaking of that, I heard you talking in your sleep the other
I'm
morning.
talking in my sleep?
Yep.
I must have been tired, John.
You're saying, I don't know. I couldn't make out what he was saying, but he was.
Hebrew.
I've even laid here and watched him
Yeah,
in the morning, and
Hebrew.
it sounds like he's actually talking to another woman. And you're like,
He probably is. He's saying,
I talk like Israel.
Vanna, I want to buy an E.
and he's even laying over there and moaning in his sleep.
Yeah. I when you're asleep, you
I
don't
do
know
that,
what you're
but I
saying
do
or
that
doing.
because I get overly tired.
Yeah.
If I'm overly tired, that's the only time I do it.
And I've noticed too, like when I go to bed, my bed, of course my bedroom light's off. I don't have a lamp or anything. My TV's off. I sleep soundly when I'm in a pitch black room. I go right to sleep. And I sleep really good. Really good.
Yeah, I was gonna let you sleep out here last night, but then I got thinking, I just want to go to bed.
I watch YouTube videos. I like to listen to people talk, and they kind of
I like that one guy.
they listen to I listen to other people speak, and it's interesting just to know what other people have to say, and it's like I never thought of it that way. And I like to listen to how people will extrapolate on their opinions about things. It's to me, it's interesting.
You have a hard time with that couch. The only way you can get off.
And I'm happy to be a part of the YouTube community, by the way.
Come here, Bart. Come here. Come around here, Bart.
Oh, there was something else I wanted to mention before I forget. It's kind of a rant. So brace yourselves for this. You ready? Are you really ready for this?
Van Winkle.
I am not apologizing for shit anymore. This includes being nice to people when I didn't have to be, supporting people when they didn't ask for it, and out of the kindness of my own fucking heart, being nice to people. I am not apologizing for being nice anymore. I am not. I'm done. Because there's been people in the past saying, well, Jared, you don't apologize for offending people. I haven't offended a single motherfucker. The only people who ever get offended are people who don't like the truth when I speak it. I'm not sorry for speaking truth. I'm not sorry for defending myself. And I don't give a rat's
That's
ass
why-
who doesn't like it. I don't care. I'm not apologizing
That's
anymore.
why people block you, Jared, and drop you is because they know you're coming close to the truth. They don't want to hear it.
Or
the last of
they
the
listen to the chirping mouths all fucking day long on Facebook. They listen to this
Yep.
all day. They have nothing to do. And these loser fucking people, trolls, they sit behind a computer all day long and talk shit. They're losers. And otherwise genuinely intelligent people, I would assume are intelligent people, they listen to this shit.
They live a boring life.
It's like, how could you believe that after everything I've done for
They
you?
live a boring life.
Piss off. You know,
So,
that's
so piss
that's
off, dude.
that's my
Yeah.
response to that. Piss off.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, you're not going to admit that I actually did something for you, a lot for you, actually. You're never going to hear that side because now I'm lashing out. I'm not angry, but I'm lashing out by saying I'm not apologizing. I'm done apologizing for being nice. When we start ridiculing and shunning good deeds and people who do good things, the problem is with you, not the people who are out there doing things.
See, when
Oh,
you-
end of rant. I got to make that official. End of rant. Anyway, what?
That's the thing, when you help people and they gotta turn a stick knife in your back and twist it
Yeah.
because they think it's the truth, but they don't know because they don't come to the main source to find out anything. They want to hear it go by ear and listen to every bullshit that everybody else says about a person. Oh, you really? Really? Wow. Well, I'm gonna block him then. You
Yeah.
come to the main source, stupid.
You're so smart. You're so smart, aren't you? Well, hey, I heard it on Facebook. I read it on Facebook, so I guess I'll just have to do the right thing and, I don't know, push the black button, ban him from my page. Yeah, fuck you.
They're about as bright as a burnout bulb.
You know, I don't care. It's really not my loss. It has taken me a long time to come to terms with that.
Karma's
I
gonna
think
bite
I
him
had a
in the
little
ass.
help in that.
Yeah, you both did. It's really not my loss, it's theirs.
Yeah.
And because, oh, well, see, now Jared's getting in using F-bombs in his video. So, you know what? That really is the truth about Jared. He really is a nasty person. No, actually, I'm not. F-bombs, okay, you're laughing at the television. Nobody else can see it. F-bombs are just an exclamation point. There's nothing
Right.
derogatory or disrespectful, maybe to the self-righteous people who sit on a throne all day long and, oh, the F word just ruins my day. It's just so horrible. Who gives a fuck? There it is again. Congratulations. Oh, and you know, I did say end rant, but I'm continuing.
I see that.
but- I'm not apologizing for shit anymore. No way. No. Because, you know,
I guess it's just in my interest, or my I don't know how you want to say it. But I'm one that always I'm sorry for everything.
you're
Even-
apologetic. I used to be. You know,
That's
no.
why it says there's a lot of, at least there's some decent people in this world yet.
Now look, I will apologize if I because I understand there are people who
Yeah.
they think that I'm coming on too strong. Like just recently, I didn't tell you guys about this, but recently I received a text from one of my friends. Her son is a child of cancer survivor. And I referred to her as sweetheart. We've had this discussion before, Amy, in previous videos. I referred to her as a sweetheart. Her husband kind of questioned, well, what's the sweetheart shit, you know? No, it's just a term of endearment. that's just, I wear my heart on my sleeve, okay? I mean nothing by it. It's just a term of endearment. I'm not trying to offend anybody
Or hit on anybody.
or hit on anybody.
Like when I say,
But
"Hi,
but
how you doing?"
but I did apologize to her. She told me I didn't owe an apology. She says, because I know better. You're just a very dear and sweet friend, and you meant nothing by it. It's just a term of endearment. She understands that, and she told me I don't have to apologize, but I did anyway.
Right.
So I didn't want to upset
Getting a better
anybody.
man.
I didn't want to, I didn't want to cause a rift. But I did apologize, and she told me I didn't have to, and she told me to stop apologizing. Okay, I'll stop apologizing. Um, and maybe that's the whole key to this nonsense that's been, ensuing for the past, I don't know, 4, maybe 5 years.
So you telling me if, like myself, I'm a grandparent.
Yeah.
So if I tell my grandchildren, I love you, or say it to my nieces, I love you, my great nieces, I love you, and they say, I love you too, is that bad? No, that's a good thing. At least the child knows that they're loved.
Yeah.
A lot of parents don't think about that. Well, he said he loved my child. Wow, that's cool. At least the child in his mind is going to say, well, I'm always loved. Nobody hates me. I'm always loved.
And as
See, that makes them feel good about themselves.
And as a footnote to that, if you find fault in someone saying I love you to you or calling you sweetheart, if someone finds a discrepancy or some kind of and this isn't about my friend, by the way, that texts me and asked me to stop referring to her as sweetheart on social media, but if we have people out there, I think they purposely find fault.
Yeah,
They purposely find they interject this perverted context and connotation into the word love and sweetheart and sweetie and all these terms of endearment, anything to do with love.
Another thing,
your mind is in the fucking gutter, not mine. I'm
maybe
actually
too,
being friendly about it.
Maybe too, Jared, is maybe that the person that has a child that was never told they love them or call them a sweetheart, maybe the parents were real mean to them and never said it to them. Maybe they've never had it. Now that somebody's saying it to their child, they're like, wow, how come that's not right? I'm saying that to my child. Well, maybe their parents were mean to them, never said I love you or give them a hug or show them a good day or whatever. Maybe that's why a lot of these parents are like that.
And the main thing, and I do understand, it's the way of the world now because there's a lot of fucking creeps out there.
Yeah.
No, I totally get it.
I understand that.
I'm not, I don't put on blinders to the world. I don't do this number here where I don't want to listen to what's going on. No, I know what's going on in the world. I'm not, kept in the dark about it. I'm kept in the loop about the kinds of bullshit that happens to kids in this world. Absolutely. And I think it's appalling. But here's the thing. Not all of us have those same intentions.
Right.
And it can be hard to fine comb through each and every individual, especially a male, because, I was born with a penis, so therefore I'm a threat, I'm a monster. That's how most people would see that. And, well, that's a problem that they have to sort out for themselves, I would say. But we do have a problem. I mean, just recently, for crying out loud, there was a guy from Kansas come all the way here to Saginaw County, to St. Charles, which is just right up the road from my house. Went to the St. Charles Motel to meet up with a 13-year-old girl.
She said she was 17.
No, he said he was 17.
Yeah, he said he was 17. That's right.
He was 33. And she was a 13-year-old girl. He come all the way from Kansas to meet up with a 13-year-old.
But the guy got in trouble and the girl didn't. Well, she should have got in trouble too for doing that.
Yeah.
But she didn't.
And I just mentioned that because I understand that this is the world that we live in. There's all kinds of sicko, creep, pedophile pieces of shit that roam this planet. I get it. I totally get it. But Jesus, we're not all the same. I mean, you can't lump all of us together. If you want to do that, well, that's your fucking problem. Not all of us who say much love or I love you or we call you sweetie, sweetheart, not all of us have those same twisted, disgusting intentions.
My lady friend down there has boyfriends, and when I see them, I say, "Hey, hon, how you doing?" And I'll say, "I'm good. How you doing, hon?" Give me a hug. Their boyfriend, "Hey, how you doing, Wayne?" "Hey, I'm good. How you doing, buddy?" And they don't get mad. They know that that's the way I talk.
You know what? I have, excuse me, I have guy friends.
Yeah,
I tell them I love you, bro, and they say I love you too, bro.
yeah.
It's a brother thing.
That's what Jay said too. He
It's a
said,
brother thing.
"I've never had somebody tell me I love you." A friend.
Yeah.
He said he told me that one day, and he says, "Wow, that felt good. I love you too, bro."
It's
It's just a friend.
it's a, like unconditional, like brotherhood kind of a love.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it when I first had a male friend tell me that they love me,
Made you feel weird.
I was kind of awkward at first because, well, I felt awkward
Yeah.
because, I mean, you're my dad. You tell me you love me all the time. You're my dad. You're my dad. That's different. But I'm talking just friends. When I had a male friend say, "I love you, bro. You're an amazing friend." Now that's different. It was different in the beginning because like, whoa, he's I was kind of taken aback by that. But I had grown up and I understood that, you know what, they're talking about a brotherhood, a friendship, as in I love you like a brother. I love you unconditionally. You're a cool guy. I'm glad that we're friends. We're buddies. And that's really, that's what they're referring to. And it had taken me a while to figure that out because it's like, well, I'm not gay,
Right.
and it has nothing to do with gay people. I have nothing against gay people, by the way. I'm not transphobic. There's a lot of transphobic people out there. I'm not one of them. But it had taken me a while to say, I love you back to my male friends because I wasn't sure if that was appropriate. I didn't want them to think that, I'm homosexual or if I'm hitting on them.
Right.
No, it's a brotherly love kind of a thing. It's a brotherhood. It's a fist bump kind of a thing. But now I have a lot of guy friends who tell me, we love you, bro, and I say I love you too, bro, and we'll keep in touch, and you take care of yourself, and all that stuff. And it's like my dad had just pointed out. My brother Jay he felt the same way. He says when I had a guy friend tell me he loved me, and it's like, well, are you hitting on me or what the fuck's going on? No, it's a brotherly love kind of a thing.
It made him feel good.
And it made him feel good. There's no.
Then he said, "I love you too, bro."
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I've got guy friends that have come up and given me hugs. Now, when I was in New York, I stayed that weekend with my friends in New York. I mean, the little boy, his dad had given me a hug. And he says, "It's nice to meet you, brother." Well, it's nice to meet you too, bro. Let's make a weekend of this, That was real. It made me feel good.
Made you warm inside.
It made me, yeah, I felt loved and appreciated and welcomed. Everybody, in fact, when I was in New York, everybody come out because, hey, the kid from Michigan's in town. I was like a fucking celebrity for a little while. It's like, no shit, everybody's coming out to see this guy from Michigan. It's like, so tell us a bit about Michigan. What's it like living in Michigan? Well, there's a lot of rude asses here, but that's everywhere. It's just a brotherly love kind of a thing. That's all it is. And there's nothing secretive or there's no perverted context or connotation or innuendo associated with it. I think the world, and it might sound corny and I might even come off as a bit naive when I say this, but I think the world could use a lot more love. That's the one thing that we are lacking severely strongly. I don't know, Dad, would you agree with that, or
I would, and trust.
and trust? Yeah.
Love and trust is what we need in this whole world. And stop all the bullshit that goes on in this world and get along with each other.
Yeah. I
I can remember back then when you could actually see somebody broke down back in the day when I was younger. Give them a ride to the gas station. You wouldn't have to worry about nothing, getting shot or anything like
No.
that. Now you do that, you either get shot,
shit
carjacked, or stabbed.
even when I was a kid, we did this all the time. When I was a kid, we saw someone broke down on the side of the road. Dad pulled over
Exactly.
and he helped because that was the right thing to do. Being empathetic, and I had made a post about this on Facebook. You should be empathetic of other people, not because it's cool. Do it because it's moral. Do it because it's right.
And if it don't feel right or look right, then don't stop.
Yeah.
But if in your heart you feel it's right, stop.
But see, I help everyone.
Yeah,
I try
so do
to. I try to. And look who gets shit on in the end. It blows up in my face.
I helped that one lady that one day. Took her car clear from Chesapeake to Brant. I told her home. She wanted to give me money. I said, nope. Keep your money, ma'am. And this was an older lady. I said, no, you keep your money, ma'am. You might see me broke down on the road and might have to give me a ride home.
Yeah.
She said, well, thank you, young feller. I said, well, thank you,
But
ma'am.
see that, but see that also kind of takes me back to this point that now we have social media. And
believe everything.
Well, people believe everything, but it takes me back to this thing on social media about narcissism, where you have people who are out there doing good things, which I'm not denouncing that. And I even had this discussion with a friend of mine through email. Not everything you do in life to help people has to be put on social fucking media.
No.
You can help people in the world and not mention it to anybody. The only person who's going to know that you helped them is the person that you helped and yourself.
And if they put something on there,
and if they want to talk about it,
nice,
that's up to them.
And that's nice.
They want to recognize you, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
or say something like, well, thank you for stopping and helping us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. And there's people, okay, well, I'm donating blood today. Okay, good for you.
Everybody.
Oh, I'm going to the children's hospital today. Good for you. You don't have to make a public announcement of every little thing you do. I understand there's people who want to inspire. That's fine. I'm all for inspiration. I'm inspired every day. And I hope I've been able to inspire a lot of people watching this, or people who are friends of me on Facebook.
I'm going to take a dump.
But I'm not this person who, I don't need to be the center of attention all the time. I don't need my ego stroked because my life is so empty that all I have is Facebook, and I get validation from Facebook likes and loves and shares. I have a life. I live it accordingly. I don't always publicly announce everything I do. Even here in my Sunday videos, I don't always publicly announce every little thing I do. Some things I can't because, people, they're watching, they're listening, and they like to twist everything, or, oh, Jared's doing this. Well, let's go back and warn these people about this Jared Fuller guy. These are the kinds of people who have no life. They're just losers. And they like to ruin shit for everybody else. That's their entertainment. That's their greatest joy in life, is causing havoc for everybody else. But what I'm saying is that there are lots of good people in this world. There still are. I like to believe that there are nice, good, clean people who are kind and inspirational, and they're chivalrous. They believe in love and compassion. Serendipity is alive and well. I believe that as well. But there are just so many different things that you can do in the world that does not need to be put on Facebook. just do what you're supposed to do. Do what is expected of you by the world, right? And like Dad pointed out, we help people
We do all the time.
all the time. Even if I have to take the last dollar out of my pocket, I've done it. I went to see a little boy at the U of M at Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor. He's battling cancer. I had taken money out of my pocket to give to them for gas. So they would have money for gas and food for their child to get them to and from the hospital. And I did go to his room, by the way. I went to the hospital and I met him and I sat in the room with him and we watched a movie and, it was nice. But I didn't put it on social media. Because there are things in life that you do good things for people and you do it for the sake of doing it. You do it for the sake of trying to help someone else in need. But when you do it specifically and primarily for social media validation, you have just, in fact, invalidated your reasons for doing it. You have devalued the deed. It becomes null and void. It becomes, well, everything we do in life now has to be put on social media. We have to do this for through the lens of Facebook. I'm telling you, Facebook breeds narcissism. It flourishes on Facebook. It's all about me all the time on Facebook. I see this a lot. And it's not necessarily with my friends. My friends are open and caring of other people as well. But especially in the childhood cancer world, I see lots and lots of narcissism and self-absorption and drama and egotism. There's a lot of egocentric people. Well, if it wasn't for me, or I helped pay for the funeral of a child who passed away, well, good for you. Okay? I'm wow. And this is a problem with the childhood cancer world, and maybe perhaps always will be a problem in the childhood cancer world, is that we have too many narcissistic people. They want to be the people or the person who causes that tipping point to bring change. Incremental change doesn't happen with one person. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. Like myself, and I mentioned at the top of the video. Hey! That's enough. Stop,
You stop it.
Scruffy.
What you want to value? Barker, you too.
Stop. I mentioned at the top of the video. This Saturday being the 30th cancerversary or whatever. And now there's people who say that I'm an outsider. An outsider. Did you hear about this, Dad?
What's that?
The people, they say I'm an outsider.
What do you mean outsider? What do they mean by that?
Yeah. I am not an outsider.
No. Why would you be an outsider?
Not even close. Wow. I think a lot of it has to do by calling me an outsider. It's someone who just wants to be the center of attention. Well, Jared has nothing to say about this. I beg your fucking pardon. I have plenty to say about childhood cancer. Thank you. But they don't like that. They don't like it because I have so much to say. They don't like it because my dad has so much to say about it. Well, hey, we didn't plan this. It's something that just happens. There's a lot of narcissism, and there's ego floating. And people like to engage in WWE style fighting on Facebook. They like to duke it out. And, well, you're no advocate. Well, you can say all day long, well, you're no advocate. It doesn't change anything. I'm still a survivor. Period. And they look at that as a bit of gloating. I'm not gloating. That's nothing to brag about. Being That's like dad. My dad here, he has COPDs, and that would be like him saying, "Well, I have COPDs. Woo-hoo-hoo, look at me." No way. That's nothing to gloat about. My dad had strokes and heart attacks
That's spinal sclerosis.
and spinal sclerosis. This is nothing to brag about. Health, having ailing health is nothing to brag about. But cancer being a terminal disease, we want to offer that. Like me being a survivor, I have lots of friends who are also survivors, long-term survivors. They're now adults, Ruth included. We are the pioneers of whatever movement is going on. We are the voices of that. If anybody can give any in-depth, detailed information, it's the people who have fucking lived and breathed it their entire lives.
It's a fight.
We're not just people who had an emotional appeal by watching a St. Jude commercial one day. Oh, isn't that so sweet? Isn't that so beautiful? It's all smiling bald kids. No, it's not. And it's nothing, bad about St. Jude, because I love St. Jude. They're a good hospital, but there's much more to it than that. And that's one of the things that I'm going to be pointing out in this piece that I'm writing for Facebook. And like I said, I'll be posting it on social media. It's going to be a lengthy post. It's going to almost be like an editorial. So if those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, if you're watching this and you need some reading material this coming Saturday, that will probably be it. But and like I said, I might even put together a video for my channel here. I have not made up my mind. What happened to Amy?
In the bathroom.
Oh, I have not made up my mind yet. I might do a recording. I might just, read what I'd written and talk about it, or read what I'd written in a recording. There's just so much that a person goes through. It's like being thrown in a lake, or
Yeah.
being thrown into the ocean with sharks, and you make it. You come out soaking wet, and you talk about the experience, and you get shunned for talking about the experience. Like somehow you're being penalized for being soaking wet, having just come out of the ocean.
Or ridicule.
I mean, how the fuck does that happen?
Well, you didn't get ate by sharks? That was no experience.
I didn't die, so therefore I'm not important. And it's, I'm not being insensitive or anything, because I'm friends with lots of bereaved parents. And my heart breaks for them every day. And as a matter of fact, I had this discussion with a bereaved parent who, this was some time ago. She says, well, you can actually talk about what it feels like. No, I can't. That's territory that I am not the best equipped to talk about, which is why I never talk about it, because I'm not a bereaved parent. I did not lose a child to cancer. I'm just someone who battled and survived it as a child. I cannot discuss. What I can say is that I'm sorry. I offer my love and support. I'm here if you need somebody to talk to. Although I may not be the best candidate to talk to when it comes to child loss, because I've never lost a child. I don't have kids. So I may not be the best suited for that. But for anything else pertaining to childhood cancer, like we talk about treatments, and we talk about medical costs, and we talk about the journey in general, of course, we can have these discussions all day long, which I look forward to, and I love having those conversations with people. But as far as talking about what it's like to lose a child, I can't do that. I'm not the best equipped to be having those discussions.
In my mind, be like, but I can't.
I couldn't imagine, because I've never been through that. It's like saying, being dead and coming back. Well, I can't imagine what it's like being dead, because as far as I know, when I'm dead, I'm not going to have a conscience to remember, anything. So I couldn't recall being dead if I'm dead. It's like I hear testimony from people who say they've died and they actually seen a light. And it's like, well, if you didn't have a conscience, you were you were, you know, out of it. You were dead. You don't have a working brain, which means if you don't have a working brain, you don't have a conscience. So how could you have remembered or recalled something if you didn't have a conscience to remember? Because you got to have a mind in order to have a conscience, and you got to have a, you know, a memory of things to recollect things. But see, I'm not the best equipped to be talking about that either because I've never died before, not yet. Apparently, Dad's had, you know, my dad had passed away, and they brought him back.
I've had experience. So.
But that's where I'm a bit confused because, you know, if you were you flatlined, you were pronounced dead, or whatever, but then they brought you back. How could you remember if you were dead? How could you remember an experience?
It's myth. You don't know.
It's a what?
It's a myth because
A myth. That's
I've
my
died,
point.
But
That's my point.
I've seen the gates. A lot of other people have. There's certain people that I guess does. I don't know, but it happened to me.
It just
told
seems
it wasn't my time yet.
it just seems too, you know, like matter of fact for me to actually, and I'm not saying you're lying, I'm just saying I have a bit of trouble believing that, you know, like, and it's not just you, it's anybody when they tell me that they've died and they've come back and they recall what they've experienced. You didn't have a brain. Therefore, you didn't have a working brain, which means that you didn't have a conscience. You weren't conscious of these things. You were unconscious. You were dead. I don't know.
Unless you see it before you die.
You know,
the brain's still working.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
That's why I watch these specials. Like they had this. I think it was a few years back. They had a special on 2020 on ABC. They were talking about these people who were, or they interviewed these people who died and came back to life. And it's like, well, how could you possibly remember what death was like if you didn't have a working brain in order to have a conscience to recall these things? And they were so matter of fact. They were so, you know, specific. They were so confident in their stories with such certitude, you know, like, well, and like you just described, well, I saw the gates, I saw the lights, I saw this, I saw that, angels and this, that, and the other. How the fuck could you know that? How could you recall something like that? That's what I have a bit of trouble trying to understand. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not dismissing what you're saying, Dad.
I know.
But yeah, I can't, you know, I can't speak for that because it never happened to me. And the same, you know, with child loss. I've never experienced that, but I have been to the funerals of cancer warriors who've died. It's really hard. When you see a child lying in a casket, that's your heart drops into your stomach, and you have this rather just sick feeling, you know, like you want to throw up, kind of a thing, because it's like, my God, that's a baby. That's a baby in a casket. It's a baby. It makes you sick. It really does, because that child didn't live long enough to experience life or to understand what life was all about. They died young, and it's like I can only handle so much of it, and then I gotta walk away. But anyway, that was an oversimplification of that point. But I'm going to be talking a bit about the Cancerversary on Saturday. And Amy returns, or is she going in the bedroom? Well, what the fuck? Okay, go do your thing. Jeez, Miss Unsociable.
Hey, I was here for majority
I
of
know.
it.
I'm fucking with you, Dad. What are we doing today? Just sitting home?
I just sat home. It's too nasty. I put you go outside.
You watching Grease? Yeah, John Travolta.
Just slammed the door on him.
Yeah. I've been here for quite a while. Quite a while. An hour and 35 minutes. Holy hell. But anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful week. I thank you so much for watching and listening to me talk again for another week. I'm going to go and do some video chatting with some friends of mine, and I'm going to try to salvage the rest of this day, and hopefully this week will be better for all of us. I'm sure it will be. There'll be a happy ending to the week.
Each and every one of you out there.
What's that?
We love each and every one of them out there.
Yeah, I try to. It's not always easy, but I try. I never stop trying. Huh?
Give it our best.
It's all I can do. It's all we can do is just, you know, people stay and people leave. That's life. And the people who decided to leave on account of rumors and gossip, that those of you who can't obviously think for yourselves, I wish you the best, but it's your fucking loss, not mine. So much love to all of you. I'll see you again next week, and let's have a good week, and hopefully we'll have some better things to talk about. I mean, this past week wasn't terrible, but wasn't really necessarily good either. But that's it. That's all I got to say. Until next week, much love. Peace out. Take care. I'm spinning out of here.